Hello and welcome back to Quicks14Blog. It's Quicks14 back here once again for some more Naxraxxams. This time I'm going to show you the military quarter. We're kind of in the middle of it here. Well, near the end of it here. Actually, I started recording a little late on this, so my apologies. This is the first boss in the military quarter. It's Acrimonious or something like that. Very interesting and a little bit of a tricky boss. And 10-man, there are two controlling crystals, and there's these initiates near him. When you get up to him, and you need to use the crystals to take control of those crystals right there that you can see, to take control of the initiates in order to fight him. What you need to do is keep them healed up. It will use the initiates as they're controlled to kill Acrimonious. It's very important. It's basically the easiest way, and a lot of people would probably say the only way to kill him. What makes it very interesting is that in 25-man Nax, from what I understand, there are no crystals in order to control them. So a lot of the times people consider this fight a must-bring priest in order to do. So you can have a couple priests mind control the initiates to fight him. Got some really nice drops here. We got this bow that dropped, very sweet drop for a hunter, and then we have a second drop as well. Acrimonious is pretty much a straight fight. For healers, it's important because you have both ads, or the ads mind controlled and up. So in most cases you will find yourself healing the ads. Now they have a ton of health, and a lot of heals probably won't do that great. Do the best you can. Just give them enough to keep them up. Once Acrimonious is dead, one ad, or one of the ads, one of the initiates will be dropped. Somebody will unmind control them, and then somebody else will go ahead and fight them. So that's that one. This is a pretty straightforward fight. This is the second boss, and he's on this little pedestal here, and there's two sides of the room. It's a big room, and there's a little, like a gate in the middle. The left side, the side you enter on, is the living side. That's where these guys will show up to fight you and everything. Once they're dead, their spirits will go over to the other side behind you, to the dead side. So usually you want to split your group up into two and have them on either side. It's important that on both sides you have tanks that can handle it. On the living side, where they come from is pretty straightforward. On the dead side, they're going to come from a random pile of bones, as long as you're paying attention to where their spirit lands. It's very, very simple. The speed of things is pretty much determined by the living side. So if the living side is killing stuff pretty quickly, the dead side could get busy. After all these waves of mobs, the boss will finally teleport down. If there's any ads still around, you'll need to kill them. Once you do damage and everything to him, he's going to teleport over to the dead side and then teleport back to the living side, and so on and so forth until he gets to about like 40%, somewhere in there, and then he's going to stay on whatever side he's on, and then the gates will open between the two sides, and you can both spank him. Now, if one side dies, whether living or dead, preferably if you want any side to die, it'd probably be a wipe. It would be the dead side. If that happens, the gate will open and you'll be able to fight. The major things of interest here on the ads are probably the riders. They're the ones that probably need the most attention. Otherwise, this is a pretty straightforward fight, not very hard at all. As for the boss himself, he does very, very fast shadow bolts, as you can see. He also has a curse, or not really a curse, but a debuff that gets stacked over time. That's going to bring down your stats fairly considerably as the longer as the fight goes. It's important to note that pretty much on all the military quarter there is no real enrage timer on these bosses, as far as I can tell. Again, this is a pretty straightforward fight. You shouldn't have a problem with this. This is probably one of the easiest middle fights I've ever seen in an instance, especially in Nax. he's just not that hard, in my opinion. Just keeping up the heals. You usually want, if you've got a 10-man and you got a full 3 healers, see now he's at a certain percentage, the door's open, people from the dead side come in. You're going to want at least 1 healer on the dead side and 2 healers on the living. As long as the healer on the dead side, I mean, shouldn't have much of a problem handling this stuff, as long as the tank pays attention and grabbing all the ads and keeping aggro. Now I'm not going to show you much of the loot here because for time reasons I want to try to get all this in here. So as you can see, the debuff came off and all our stats came up. So finally we come to the 4 horsemen. Now I'm going to show you this first as a wipe and explain what happens here. There's 4 horsemen in the middle here as a boss. They should be killed in a order by hardest. The ones in the front are the harder ones. The ones in the back are the fairly easier ones. It's important to note that they all go to the 4 corners of the their little area here, and they all must be addressed. If they're not, especially the ones in the back, they're going to do an AOE, raid-wide AOE, as you can see here. That's pretty much going to kill your boss, and the reason they did that is because the one who was in the back died. Doing this with only 2 healers is difficult, if not impossible, in my opinion. So there's the wipe. Here's a successful attempt. We killed the first one, and now we're going over the second one. So what we've done here is we've got 2 people in the back handling the bosses in the back, and we have a healer in the back going back and forth to keep them up. You usually want to have 3 healers, so you can have 1 healer on each side in the front, on the left and the right, and then 1 healer for the back side. Now as you see here, I'm going to die, and I'm going to explain why here in just a moment. Each boss has fairly different abilities and what they do. Those little black holes there, you want to stay out of. They do damage. The easiest boss is probably the one just behind me, the one in the other corner over there. It's definitely one of the easiest bosses out of the 4, because he really doesn't want to do this, but he doesn't have a choice. As you see, I'm going to die here, and there's a good reason why. Wait for it. And there's my death. What happened was, I don't know if you were paying attention to my debuffs, but if you were, you'll see that there's these stacks. Each boss gives a different type of stack. Once they stack 3 or more, they start doing serious damage, and after a certain amount of time, they will kill you very, very easily. So basically what you got to do is swap, quote unquote. Basically you need to stop attacking the one you're getting stacks on and go to the other. The problem was I was doing that, but I wasn't doing it right. I was stopping on one and I was going to the other, and I was getting his stack, and then I'd go to the other one before the other one had completely worn off. And if you do that, you'll get too many stacks of both of them, and then you'll really die, like I just did. So what you need to do, you get a stack of 3 or more, is you just need to get out of the range of the boss and stay out of range of any boss for a little while, and don't do nothing. Just let it expire, and then go on to the next one. If you have, or if you don't have a stack of the other boss, then go to the other boss, fight it until it has a stack, and then make sure both stacks are cleared before you move back on to the other boss. If you do this right, it's not that hard. You just gotta watch your stacks. You know, that's why they suggest 3 or more to go ahead and switch, because it'll be a lot quicker. It's a certain distance range. It's like 30 yards or something like that you need to be away from it. As you can see here, though, we didn't get the other boss down, so we take on the last one and finish him off. Tanks, you're going to need at least 2, possibly 3. The 4th is going to have to be some sort of off-tank that could do that. If you got someone who can heal himself, it's preferable. Like, say you have a paladin, it'd be perfect. Otherwise, you're probably going to need 2 people who have mail or plate armor and a healer in the back. And there it is. Military quarter is finished. And that is all 4 quarters of Nax. So let's go ahead and take a look at the loot. Chests will spawn in the middle where they were, and that's where you're going to loot from. Got some really nice loot. You got this nice piece of cloth here, and I believe I have that chest now. Yes, I am wearing that chest piece. That was a nice chest piece to get. It made it worthwhile dying. Very, very nice piece. And the last piece here is a piece of tier 7. Very sweet. And then we have one more little piece, I do believe, as well. Oh, no, that's it. And that takes care of the military quarter. So coming up next is Saphirion and Kel'Thuzad himself to finish off Nax. You're going to see that here really shortly. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and spread the word. Thanks.